When it comes to Star Citizen, not all ships are created equal. Some are single-seaters, others are small multiplayer ships, and some are massive capital ships. There's ships that are always available, and some that CIG hides behind their often criticized but always effective artificial scarcity, fear of missing out based ship sales strategy. When we talk about rare ships, you might picture the mighty Idris or maybe the even bigger Javelin, ships that CIG releases only in waves and you have to essentially win the lottery to buy one. I'm kind of serious there. They sell out in moments and are thousands of dollars. The analogy is on the nose. I really don't recommend it either because you need a team to use them effectively. You can just picture that dude sitting in his Idris by himself. He's probably watching this video too. Those ships aren't rare. In fact, you'll probably run into an Idris if you go anywhere that's populated. It makes sense that the people that play this game the most have gone out of their way to acquire these. Even with limited waves of ships over the years, thousands upon thousands of these capital ships have been sold. They get sold every year and the number continues to increase in the verse. It's like unlocking the Alpha-class Jedi in Star Wars Galaxies. They were only rare for a brief moment in time. But no matter how much money you offer to give CIG, there are a few ships you literally can't buy. Well, from CIG at least. More on that later. Generally, these are related to time-gated promotions, sometimes with third-party partners. There's the Mustang Omega, a racing version of the starter ship with a unique red AMD livery. If you bought an AMD Radeon R9 or R7 series graphics card, you received a code to claim one during a period in 2015 and 2016. Unfortunately, if you wanted one, they are no longer redeemable and account bound. At one point, they were the best racing ship in the game, though that's an admittingly subjective take. Keenan from Sanibel Games swears by it, and while it's been nerfed in recent years, he still loves it. This is his Mustang Omega that I'm showing off, and I'd like to thank him for letting me use it for this video. Another is the former title holder as the rarest ship, the Drake Dragonfly Star Kitten Edition. Previously, it was the rarest ship because you needed to get 10 referrals in 2017 in a very time-limited period. If you missed that and still want one, CIG had a promotion during the 2025 IAE that gave it out for a single referral, making it much easier to obtain. The ship isn't contractually tied to a third party, so CIG could even sell them again in the future if they choose. We'll end up seeing many of these in-game, I suspect, and they'll probably go up for sale next year too. I ended up qualifying for one this year, but I'll probably never use it. I'm all about the style, and it just doesn't jive with my look. Sadly, I can't gift it either. It's account bound. For my part, I don't believe that either of those ships have mass appeal. Racing is still pretty niche in the game, and the Star Kitten is. Do I really need to finish that thought? But this ship that stepped up and took the crown from the Star Kitten is the best purchase I've ever made regarding Star Citizen. That's a pretty loaded statement, so let me explain. In 2017, CIG partnered with Intel on a promotion regarding their new Intel Optane SSDs. These were unique as they used PCI Express slots to give you what was at the time better than NVMe performance before NVMe even really took off. My motherboard back then didn't even have an M.2 slot, but it was compatible with the Intel Optane drive. This is the part that made it the best money I've spent on Star Citizen. Buying that SSD, which I actually needed at the time, came with a code for the Sabre Raven and a game package. It's a ship you couldn't buy directly from CIG, one I can't melt, and can't gift to you no matter how much you offer me. It's non-transferable. It's an exclusive ship, and I can't tell you how freaking nervous I was that the code wouldn't work when I typed it in. The drive wasn't cheap either. I paid around $400 for the whole thing, which felt insane at the time, but I've spent more on ships or cosmetics in games and never received anything tangible from it. I punch those numbers into my calculator and it makes a happy face. People talk about buying JPEG ships in Star Citizen, and this was as far from that as it gets. The drive ended up lasting about 4 years before it died. All SSDs have a limited lifespan with their read-write cycles, and I'll call that a win. I still have it in the garage somewhere in a box, though it's way too cold here for me to go fish it out for the B-roll. Sorry about that. And because that promotion ended years ago, the Raven instantly entered this weird limbo where hardly anyone owns it. It wasn't a popular product. Intel later discontinued their entire Optane line. Nobody can buy the codes outside of the gray market or eBay now, and the few codes that still exist are basically ancient artifacts. I've been told the codes won't even work now on the website, though some people had success emailing CIG to get it activated. I've even seen some wild threads on Reddit about a guy that bought pallets of overstocked unsold Optane drives to sell the codes to desperate Star Citizen fans. That's crazy. To promote the ship, CIG even had a 6-foot model made for CitizenCon that year. But of course, there's always someone whining about how that kind of stuff is a waste of money. But I don't buy that at all. Inspiration and excitement are infectious, and to me that's worth the price tag. Hell, I have more money in hexagon LEDs in my office than I'd care to admit, and I refuse to believe that doesn't help my mood. It certainly looks awesome, and all of that hype mattered because underneath all the promo stuff it might actually be a good ship. I say might because with the changes to engineering and ship combat I can't be sure yet. It has a unique loadout with high-end stealth capabilities and a ship-based EMP. The idea is that you approach a target without appearing on their sensors until it's too late, and then overload their systems. In a group that is incredibly useful to disable your enemies while your teammates pounce, its weapons are pretty weak overall. I don't think it's intended to be a ship you'll want to fight in alone, but again, everything could change. It's essentially an F-18 Growler electronic warfare aircraft in Star Citizen, but it's the design itself that makes everyone want one. It's sexy in a way that just looks like it could fly in real life, today on Earth. That's the thing about aircraft. If it looks good, it will probably fly well. The proper proportions are burned into our brains. It's the same with sports cars. There's a sleek, wedge-shaped look that we love, but it's also the best shape for performance. The Raven is 100% an evolution of the Delta Wing stealth fighter like the F-117. The cutouts in the wing change up the design enough to shout futuristic without ruining the look. Ships like the Millennium Falcon don't look like they can fly. We love them because they have a certain kind of charm. Star Citizen's going for an atmospheric flight model that rewards aerodynamics. We can debate if that's a good thing, and personally I'd rather have the Star Wars approach to everything regarding flight. It's the future. And it should feel like it in my opinion, especially since the alien races in Star Citizen already have anti-gravity drives. And seriously, don't get me started on ballistics. Longtime channel watchers know I want them all removed for space lasers and ion cannons. Running around with a 9mm pistol in the game makes me really sad. Back on topic, the Raven was so popular that CIG made two variants based on the chassis, the Sabre Firebird and the Sabre Peregrine. Neither are exclusives and are available for anyone. So if you like the look and want either a ship that's dedicated to racing or one that's a glorified missile spammer, you've got options. They never miss a chance to sell us what we want. And yeah, maybe I'm biased because I actually own one, but I've got to tell you, when I look at the Raven in my hangar, it feels less like owning a ship and more like holding a piece of Star Citizen's weird, winding history. If this ship stirs something in you and money slips through your fingers like water, then there are ways to acquire it. But be warned, it's not cheap. And honestly, it's definitely not worth it either, not at these prices. Every year the codes that occasionally pop up are becoming more rare. They can go for $2,000 to $3,000 on eBay or the gray market. And they sell incredibly quickly too. If you're determined to get one, don't risk sketchy listings. The Impound is a trusted gray market site that I've partnered with so none of my viewers get scammed. It's run by the same guy who used to run CIG's Pledge Store and the reviews are immaculate. I'm not saying you should buy one, but I do believe you should have all the info because at the end of the day you're going to do whatever the hell you want. And that's the Sabre Raven. A ship I somehow ended up with because I needed more storage, and now it's basically a museum piece that also happens to masquerade as a stealth fighter. Star Citizen's a weird game like that. But I love that about this game, the stupid side stories, the oddball promotions, the stuff that shouldn't matter but does because it's tied to real memories you made in game. If you don't have a Raven, don't sweat it. There will always be another ridiculous promo. Another awesome looking ship nobody sees coming. Another thing for all of us to chase. I'll be right there with you, constantly searching for the next thing that makes me smile. If you made it this far, you're already one of the crew, so get subscribed because there's so much more to talk about. If you'd like to support the channel further, there's the join button or my referral link to the Impound in the description. I'd like to thank my channel members, as they directly keep me flying. Seriously, you guys rock. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the verse.